When I was younger, I convinced myself that I would never have a mate. Maybe it was for dumb reasons like my face is full of pimples, or my legs are too fat, or my hair is dry and not as soft and shiny as hers. In my young mind, I believed no guy would want me because at the time I didn't possess such traits. It is a stupid thing to believe that I am too ugly for a mate, but the thought grasped onto me for years. The thought brought me to tears while I sat in my bathtub, only in the tub so no one could hear me. All in all, I was depressed. Me, a 16-year-old werewolf at the time, was depressed because of my physical appearance. I mean, werewolves are supposed to be beautiful, right? Flawless skin, vibrant hair, luscious lips, soothing voice, perfect body, a list of traits that surrounded me, yet traits I didn't have. All of the girls my age were beautiful, and I was the ugly duckling. "Don't worry, you'll grow into your ears," my mother would tell me, pushing my dull, knotted brown hair over them. "Don't worry, I'm sure your breasts will come, you're just a late bloomer," she'd say. "Your feet aren't too small. Your face will clear up. Having brown eyes is lovely. People want brown eyes like yours, Ray." I'd stare up at her and think about all the lies she's told me. Will I really grow into my ears? They'll always be a little too big, and they still are 3 years later. My mother was a beautiful woman, and a beautiful wolf, too. She looked more like one of the other girls' mothers than mine. She could have been an alpha's mate. That's how perfect she was. Only the most beautiful girls are mated with an alpha. Sadly, in my theory, I wouldn't get a mate at all. At first, the thought made me depressed, but as the years went by, it made me feel free. As the other girls prepared for gatherings, ones where packs would get together in search of their mate, I would sit at home and argue with my mother. "I don't have a mate, Mom." She'd cross her arms. "That's ridiculous, Ray." "It's not. I can feel it. I don't have a mate. It doesn't matter if I go. It'll be a waste of time." "Stop that. Now get on the dress and let's get going. You're going to be late." That year, I actually attended one. I wore a purple dress and sat in the corner all night while 4 girls my age found their mates. One was a beta. A beta. It was understandable. She was a pretty girl. I sat in the corner, playing judge, judging everyone and their mates, their dancing, their dresses. Sure, I found it easier to accept that I'd never find a mate, but part of me was still jealous. This year, my 4th year of the gatherings, I plan on not attending again. I've only been once when I was 17, so I'd like to spare myself from that pain. My mother doesn't seem to mind after that one time. Maybe she has begun to believe my theory too. There is a knock on my bedroom door, and I call my mother in. She's carrying a folded piece of golden cloth, and I already know what it is. A dress. "We've been through this before," I mutter, and look away from her, back down at my book as I lay sprawled out on my bed. "Ray, I really think you should go this year. You didn't last year, so maybe." I shut my book and tiredly peer up. "Mom, I know you want me to go, but there's no point. I have no mate. I repeat what I have said the years before. Everyone has a mate. That's impossible. What if there's one more girl werewolf than there are guys? What if I'm that one?" My mother drops the dress on my bed. "You're not that one. My daughter has a mate. Now I've let you lazy around for the past 3 years, so it's time you start taking this seriously. You're 19. Girls your age are excited by parties and the idea of mates. So put on the dress and be downstairs in 20 minutes before I call a guard and have them drag you out." I sit up swiftly. "A guard can't do that." She begins to walk out the door. "They will now." Then she shuts it behind her. I groan and flop back down. I have the urge to yell back, "I don't have a mate," but instead I whine and dramatically put on the damn dress. It's gold and silky and girly, and something one of the pretty girls would wear. A girl like me should not wear this dress, as the bust area clearly requires more bust. How embarrassing. Now everyone at the gathering will know that Ray East has small breasts, not that they couldn't have figured it out. When I saunter downstairs, My mother hurries me out the door after handing me a pair of her shorter, high heels. I take them with a look of disgust. It's at the usual place, so don't try and lie, saying you got lost or couldn't find it. My mother calls as I wander away from the house, and she shuts the door, likely locking me out. Here I am, walking to the gathering when I expected to be reading for the entire night until I'd pass out and drool onto the pages. My normal Saturday nights in the pack. It's nothing exciting like sneaking off Packland or secretly meeting up with a guy who is not my mate. Stuff the other girls do. Half of them have lost their virginity long ways back, dropped it in the woods against a tree or something. These thoughts make me less jealous of them. I follow the path and wobble a few times, stumbling on a rock. Social interaction is not my specialty, so when I hear voices coming at me, I rush into the trees and hide. With my chest rising and falling quickly, I peek out to watch. A large group of men appear in the distance, and as they walk closer, I notice one to be my alpha. My heart clenches at the sight of him. I've met the alpha once before, and I was awkward as usual. He probably wouldn't remember me if he saw me. Alphas are busy, I suppose. They meet a lot of people, and it must be impossible to remember such an insignificant face as mine. I lean forward to get a better view of who he's with, and I notice one person to be the Luna, and I lean a little further, and my foot gets caught on a tree root, and I claw at the bark to catch myself, and I slowly fall to my knees, and the group comes to a halt. I freeze. They scan the trees until the Luna's eyes fall upon me, somewhat hidden behind a low bush. "Hello?" she calls out. "Who's there?" I bite the inside of my cheek and get up, dirt coating my palms and sprinkled on my dress. "Sorry," I say nervously. "I thought I saw something out further, but I tripped, and, well, sorry if I scared you. I'm just on my way to the gathering for the mateless," the Luna finishes. I finally land back on the path and get a good view of the small crowd. My eyes go straight to my alpha, apologetically of course, but the man beside him grabs my attention. He's an alpha, no doubt. He looks like one, the sort of perfection only the most prestigious werewolves display. I could explain every one of his magnificent features and write a book about it all, but something else has me entranced. The feeling in my stomach. Or is it my heart? Or is it my more delicate regions? Maybe it's everything. It's like his eyes are tearing me apart just because they can. I swallow. He makes my mouth water, this man, this alpha, and I shouldn't think in such ways about someone above me. His position stomps on my entire life. I am a speck to him. Finding it very hard to concentrate, I begin to see small movements on his face. His eyes shoot to me, then immediately gaze off, then come to me again, then leave again, like he's looking at an eclipse. His jaw muscles clench, and I cross my feet, one leg moving in front of the other, almost squeezing together. My heart races, like someone is beating a drum in my chest, and I don't understand any of it. As I stare at him, I cannot help but imagine myself dropping my virginity in the forest, against a tree. Maybe even the one I was hidden behind a moment or two ago. Wait, what? Shouldn't you be on your way then? My alpha cuts through the silence and drags me back to reality. I briefly wet my dry lips before tossing together words that mean nothing to me at the moment. Yes, I'll get out of your way. I step to the side and watch as the man, the alpha, walk past me along with the others, his scent giving my head a spin. He doesn't look back at me like I would for him. He only keeps on walking, leaving me in a confusing fog, lost, not knowing what to do next. I struggle for a minute, still standing on the path. Everything in my animalistic being is telling me what I do not want to hear. It's shouting at me, and I have my headphones on, trying to ignore it. That alpha, that man, that alpha. An alpha. What am I thinking? Me mated to an alpha? What a joke. If the girls were here right now, they'd sure get a kick out of this. Ray East thought she was mates with an alpha? What a laugh. I have the urge to smack myself for being so stupid. I make my way down the path once again and dread the gathering. Not only will I feel like a complete idiot, but I will also now have to watch girls flirt and dance, maybe even discover their mates, something I would never experience because I don't have a mate, and I will never have a mate. It's like convincing my 16-year-old self all over again. There are 100 males and 101 females, and I am the one. I am the leftover. I find the building and huff before walking towards it, preparing to join the crowd. I enter the building and find many girls in their flashy dresses accompanied by many men in their dress shirts and slacks, all looking quite nice. Then I join the mix, and people start to glance over. After last year, they probably thought they'd never see me at one of these again. One can only hope. Whispering, while trying to get that damn mysterious alpha out of my head, his image infecting my mind, I search the room for anyone that can help me. These girls must know everything about mates. Unlike myself, when my mother tried to teach me, I forced myself to ignore her, not wanting to get excited about something I will never have. Now I just have to make sure the girls will tell me what finding your mate is like, and my little run-in will turn to nothing after all. It was simply minor attraction to the man. I swear. Two familiar girls are leaning against a nearby wall, and I slip through the crowd to bother them for a second. Their eyes focus in on me when I get close. Can I ask you something? I walk up and try not to be a bother, but it's inevitable at this point. They look at each other before the blonde on the left says, "What?" I smile weirdly, trying to seem less severe. What does one experience when one has discovered one's mate? That was terrible. Dear goddess, someone stop me. The girls look me up and down. Why? Then the black-haired girl beside the blonde, possibly named Stacy, asks, "Did you find your mate, Ray?" She knows my name? Well, probably from my great personality 2 years ago, when I sat in the corner the entire time. No, I'm just curious. Well, the blonde starts. You just know. It's like a feeling, and then you just know that you're mates. I mean, he'll be the most gorgeous man you've ever seen. You might feel suddenly horny too. Stacy says wittily, and the blonde elbows her. Sorry, it's just what I've heard. You're disgusting, the blonde mutters, embarrassed by her friend. Some of us are actually trying to find our mates. I smile, needing to get away from this conversation. Thanks, I murmur and walk away, not with any particular motive. Oddly enough, I spot the table in the corner that I singly occupied 2 years ago, and I take a seat. Everyone around me seems to be having a good time, and I would be internally hating this if I wasn't so distracted. How do I know if I felt that feeling or not? Sure, I felt something, but as I said, it could have just been an attraction. This is stupid. I am stupid for even thinking of a possibility where me, Ray, could be mated to him, an alpha. He was walking with my alpha, being all alpha, expecting to find an alpha-worthy mate for him to ravish. Obviously, an awkward girl who stumbles and falls isn't his ideal mate. She is no one's ideal mate. That is why she must remain mateless. My thoughts are jumbled. He has jumbled me. Leaning back and looking up, I watch everyone move around the room. After an hour or so of sitting and ignoring my pesky thoughts, someone finds their mate. The crowd parts for them. Everyone's watching, visible happy for her, but jealous on the inside. She's blushing, smiling. She's nervous. He looks happy, most likely because he's found himself a for sure lay. That's terrible, and I shouldn't think that. Mates aren't like that, right? Who am I to know anything about mates? I'm the blubbering idiot who thought she was mated to an alpha, for goddess sakes. I hope they're happy together then. I hope she's fulfilled by him, the man she's now supposed to spend the rest of her life with. Just one glance, and she's been swiped away for a lifetime. Frightening, isn't it? I'm glad I don't have to deal with that. It's obvious, right? I clearly believe that I am mated to an alpha. I look across the table and spot the tray of full glasses of wine that the guy in the white tucked-in shirt left for a moment. He went through the bathroom doors just a minute ago. My eyes narrow in on them, the glasses, the elegant red liquid that is sure to make me forget. Swiftly, I stand up and swipe 2 glasses from the tray of 6 and walk off. I gulp down one like a crazy person and set it on a random table before sipping the other normally. I'm not supposed to be drinking alcohol, but hopefully I am unnoticeable enough to the point where I get away with it. I slip through people and at one point even cut through a couple dancing. They glare at me while I continue on my way to nowhere. My eyes fall upon the main doors as if they've been told to look, and of course, my Alpha, my Luna, and the Alpha are walking inside. I nearly choke on my wine and turn around, quickly heading the other way. I can smell him from here. That delicious male smell that probably fills his bed, embedded into the pillows. It's everywhere. I down the rest of my wine and place the glass on the tray that I once stole it from. The bathroom looks like a safe place, but then I spot an exit and choose that. It's been over an hour. My mother can't be too upset if I come home now. Surely, the doors are unlocked. Once I make it back, I wiggle the handle, and thankfully the door opens, letting me in. Most of the lights are off, and I assume my mother has gone to bed. I kick her heels off at the door and walk into the living room, where she happens to be sitting. I stop. It's been over an hour, so I start, but she cuts me off with surprising news. A man came to the door, she says bluntly. What did you do, Ray? My throat runs dry. What kind of man? I whisper. Tell me what you did. Was it at the party? Did you flip the table? Did you spill something on a girl's dress on purpose? What? No. Who came to the door, Mom? She stands up, her arms crossed. A man. He's not from our pack. I know that. He just said that Miss East needs to be ready by midnight. So tell me, what did you do? My heart drops. I didn't do anything. I don't know what happened. He just walked by and... Who just walked by? What are you talking about, Ray? The man. The Alpha. Our Alpha? Dear Goddess, Ray, what did you do to the Alpha? I shake my head in a panic. Not our Alpha. Another Alpha. What did you do to that Alpha? She says dramatically. And I have the need to yell. Mother, please, just stop. Just listen for a second. I'm not really sure what happened. The Alpha. Look, I might sound like an idiot, but just hear me out. I might have found I've never thought I'd say these words to my mother, ever. Mate. I might have found my mate, and it might be that Alpha, but I'm not sure. It was just a feeling. It could have been anything but. Her face causes my words to drift off. Mom? You're sure? You think so? An Alpha? She breathes out. Wow, I'm not sure I don't know what to do in this situation. Well, I suppose you should be ready, whatever that means, at midnight. Just, prepare for... I'm not even sure about it, Mom. She nods. Well, just in case then. Just be ready at midnight, and we'll see what happens. I nod also, and we stand in silence for a second or 20 before she says, You know, I knew you'd find your mate. Feeling very overwhelmed, all I can give her is a smile, and not even a good one. All right, I'm going to go upstairs until it's time. Once in my bedroom, with the door locked, I run my hands through my hair and fan my heated face. It's already 11:20. I only have 40 minutes to figure something out. For some reason, it feels as if he's coming to get me, coming to kill me. I have 40 minutes to live. Well, 39 now. There's no way I can do this. I can't face whoever or whatever is going to be here at 12. It's not even time, and I feel as if my heart is going to fail. We can't be mates. He didn't even say a word to me. I need more than one glance to be forever mated with someone. I need days, weeks, months, heck, I need years. I need years to process, and as of now, I have 38 minutes. That's it. I'm going to have a panic attack. And in result, I grab a bag and begin piling necessities inside. For some reason, because I can never react like a normal person, I have the brilliant idea to run away from all of this. If I run away, then I will never have to face that beautiful creature of an alpha who makes my legs squeeze together. Oh, goddess, watch over me. I'm going to hell. In the bag, I toss a few warm pieces of clothing, my toothbrush, no toothpaste, socks, a pair of running shoes, and if I have to shift, I don't mind tearing this dress apart. The wine leaves me a dizzy mess as I flail my arms about, my hands grabbing whatever is within reach. At some point, I picture of my father falls in, and I begin to cry. The clock reads 11:50 now, and I sit on the floor, tear-stained cheeks, red puffy eyes, and a wrinkled dress. I at least want to be wearing clothes I like when he comes and kills me. So I slowly get up and replace the dress for more comfortable clothes. Something I would wear around the house. My mother would kill me if she knew I would be wearing this to face an alpha. My runaway bag is a mess. My hair is a mess. My face is a mess. My life is a mess. Ray East is a mess who might just be mated to an alpha. Poor man, mated to a wreck like me. He deserves a beautiful mate, some girl like the ones at the gathering. Heck, even more beautiful than them. With a position, face, and body like his, he could get the moon goddess if he wanted. I hear a knock at the door downstairs. The house is quiet enough to hear such subtle sounds, and I swallow. Kiss life goodbye, Ray. With my bedroom door cracked open, I can hardly hear my mother answer the door. Hello, can I help you? She asks whoever is there. Yes, I'm looking for Miss East. I'm assuming she's your daughter. Alpha Grant is expecting her presence. Yes, she's upstairs. May I ask what for? I was told nothing but to retrieve her. Well, I know his last name. That's something. It's not enough, but still something. I know of him, this Alpha. His pack is a little farther than the ones that usually come to the gathering. It's a strong pack, one of the strongest. That's all I know. I know my mother is going to call for me, but I do not want to go downstairs and off with this stranger. He was told to retrieve me, so the Alpha told him to do so. Part of me wishes that the Alpha would have continued to ignore my existence, just as he did when we had our encounter on the path. Maybe he is going to reject me. Maybe that's why he needs me. It's only for a moment then. It will hurt. I know that. I can't help it. Ray, there's a man here for you, my mother calls on too. Glancing at my bag, I sigh and head through the door, ready to get this over with. It'll just take a minute, then I can go back to the way things were, my lovely, mateless life. Maybe I'll move to the city, live amongst the humans, and pretend to be one of them. Humans die alone sometimes, so I will fit in there. We'll all be alone together. I'll be shunned from my pack. Hell, the entire werewolf kind will reject me if they find out. But I don't need them in my life. I can live as a human. It sounds pleasant, the human life. What a dream. Ray, my mother calls again, and I steadily make my way down the stairs. It will only take a second, I repeat to myself, chanting in my head. It will hurt, the rejection, but I'll be okay. I've lost people in my life. I know how this works. If only the mate bond was non-existent, it would be a breeze without it. I'm here, I say at the bottom, and the two look to me. Where are we going? The man in the door is tall and well-built, likely one of his guards. To the Alpha, at your pack house. He is with your Luna and Alpha, but he will give instructions on what to do. Instructions? For what? It's best if you leave the questions for him. I look to my mother, and she seems somewhat excited by this. She must not know that he's going to reject me. Or maybe she does. Maybe she's just trying to hide it so I won't be too upset about it. All right, I murmur. Let's make this quick. I know where the pack house is, but I have never been inside like most of my pack. It is where the Alpha and Luna live, where important people stay, where they love each other and make love until the sun dries up the sky. That is at least what the girls daydream about. They dream about the Alpha, what it would be like to be mated to him, the feelings, sensations only he could give. Some girls say that's why the Luna is so happy and so pregnant half the time. She's had her third child, and any more seem crazy to me. Who am I to judge, though? I follow the man, walking a few steps behind him. He will glance back at me, maybe making sure that I haven't run away off into the trees. He knows too, doesn't he? He knows that I'm going to be rejected. I wonder if he feels bad for me. Can an alpha reject their mate? Sure, but it is not a good option unless they have a woman with alpha blood to replace her. And even the woman of alpha blood, a highly desired woman, isn't as good as a mate. Nothing can replace one's true mate, but I suppose this Alpha Grant has his backup for when he dumps me. He must have a woman with alpha blood, someone beautiful and worthy. I'm sure she could do better than me anyway, his true mate or not. While lost in my thoughts, the guard grabs my attention when he comes to a halt. I peer up and realize that we are here. He is just inside, a few steps away. So close, but so far. I swallow, preparing myself for the inevitable heartbreak. It will just take a minute. It is a rare thing to enter the pack house unless you are someone worthy, which I am clearly not. I am a woman about to be rejected by an alpha. Surely not worthy. Heck, I should be grateful to stand on the porch. The guard does not knock, but confidently opens the door, and I hesitate before following him inside. There are voices further in, and just before I expect to unmask their owners, the guard turns down a hallway. Quite confused and lost, I follow him like a child without their mother to guide them. Too young to be making such decisions. Oh, goddess, I smell him. That scent that I can't describe in less than 100 words. It is everything wonderful, all in one cologne, and somehow it works. The further down the hall we walk, the more potent it grows, wrapping around me like a warm blanket. I could fall asleep in its arms. There are 2 large white doors, and one of them is cracked open. The scent bleeds from there. He's behind those doors, and I brace myself for impact. The guard pushes past, and I have the need to ditch the situation, but it's too late. I too am inside. He sits in a chair in front of a desk. I'm assuming my alpha's desk, and he looks up, and I crumble. The door closes after the guard, and we are alone. I am alone with a stranger. I can't move. The sight of him hurts. It's like staring at a glass of water when one's been deprived for ages. I am quickly becoming dehydrated, and my lips turn dry. I don't want to be here with him. I don't want to be anywhere at all. There is no place for me, and under his gaze, I shrink to a pulp. This man, this alpha, my alleged mate, makes me feel like nothing to him. He is the king, and I am a peasant. He stands up, looking down at me, ready to stomp on the bug, ready to squish it. He says firmly, "Be ready tomorrow morning." What? Doesn't he have the time to reject me now? 4? I murmur, too nervous to talk normally. We leave tomorrow morning. The man who brought you here will take you home and get you around 8. His voice, words confusing me, sounds like a dream. I want him to whisper in my ear how much he— Wait, you're free to go. Only registering the word go, I nod slightly and push back past the closed door. Like a drunk woman, I stumble a bit and I find the man who fetched me, the dog walker. He begins to walk away and I know I am supposed to follow him. I do so until we are freed from the pack house, back out in the open air. That's all right. I can make it from here, I tell him. It's not my choice, he says, bored. We continue to walk, and I grow further from him with each step. At some point, he pauses until I have caught up a bit. Then he carries on. My head pounds, repeating his words with every pulse. We leave tomorrow morning. We leave. Morning. Leave. Tomorrow. Be ready. It's causing my stomach to rise. Around 8. 8. You're free to go. Free to go. Free. I feel as if I'm going to throw up. I wobble up to the door and wave back at the guard, but he's already turned away from me, on his way back to wherever he came from. With a moan of tiredness and confusion, I fall inside and close with the door behind me, needing the wood to stable myself. Without a minute to breathe, my mother appears. So, what happened? I want to yell at her. Nothing happened. It doesn't matter, but I restrain myself. I can't talk right now. We'll talk in the morning. I move past her and she seems taken back. What? In the morning? What happened, Ray? Please, I say, heading for the stairs. Not now. In my bedroom, I find Keith, and I fall back onto my bed, taking in the silence. He said we're leaving tomorrow morning at 8. Who is we? We better not mean us. And us better not mean him and I? That wouldn't make sense. Why on earth would he need me to come with him? It's clear that he had no interest in me whatsoever. So why waste anyone's time? Must he take me to his pack to reject me? Or maybe he's going to kill me there, where everyone thinks I am safest. I don't understand. Where are we going? I'm assuming back to his pack, as I said, as the gathering is over. But why? Why take me back? I will be an embarrassment to his pack. I needed more information than that, but I didn't have the guts to ask, and I wouldn't have them now either. He sat there like a god. Who am I to question him? Only one word. 4, that's all I could muster. What a weakling. It's not like I'm trying to impress him anyway. There's no point in that. Finding it hard to breathe, I slide open a window and bring my face to the net. The air is cold in my lungs, sobering me up. I am a blind man walking on a tightrope. I lay in my bed for an hour before locating my runaway bag on the floor, hyping myself up for the reckless thing I am about to do. It didn't take much to convince myself, only a few scenarios and a look or two in the mirror. Only a stupid girl would think that Alpha Grant is taking me back to his pack to reject me. There is no point in that. It's ridiculous. I know who I am, what I am supposed to be. I know what I have convinced myself, and being mated to an alpha is not part of my plan. It ruins everything. If I could, I would give him to one of the other girls, someone who he can love and love with no doubt. They would be so happy, telling everyone with a proud look, showing him off like a prize won. She'd be the perfect Luna, that girl. Tossing in the last of my things, I slide up my window and pop out the screen, leaving a giant hole for me to fly out of. I drop my bag to the grass first, watching with a racing heart as it hits the ground with an uncomfortable thud. There's no way I am jumping. I'll break something, likely an ankle or leg, and I can't run away with broken bones. Opting for the front door, I close it slowly behind me and rush around back to swipe up my bag. In a very nervous and tired jog, I head for the trees. Like a drunk woman, I have no plan but to head off into the night. All my dizzy head knows is that I must get away from him. Once he's gone tomorrow, I'll come back and apologize to my mother for disappearing. All I have to do tonight is hold up for a day, staying hidden, and wait for my mate to give up and go home. He'll forget about me when he's back at his pack, reunited with plenty of women and responsibilities to distract him. I will be Ray Who. I'm delusional, aren't I? Maybe I swiped 4 glasses instead of 2. I should have never gone to that horrifying gathering. It is just one clump of perfect people trying to match up and have perfect futures with perfect children and romance, aging and learning together. The more I think about it, the more my inner self yearns for it, so I numb myself from such thoughts. I find it harder to stick in the needle after finding this alpha, though. I am blindfolded and stabbling into whatever feels like skin. Stumbling over a protruding tree root, I snap back to life and come to a pause. I've made it into the forest, denser than at the center of the pack. If my useless head hasn't done me completely wrong, then home is that way, right behind me. Dropping my bag to the ground, cushioned by tall, sparse sprouts of grass, I sigh and look up to the sky. The moon is there, sneaking through the trees like a predator ready to pounce. It's the goddess gazing down at me, shaking her head, arms crossed from my foolishness. I give her a wave. She doesn't wave back. Crouching down and falling to my butt, I pick at the dirt, scooping up pebbles and tossing them to the side, a bored child. In this grave I dig shall be the final resting place of my sanity. I wish he could see me like this, the alpha. This would surely make him reject me now, instead of forcing me to go off to his pack. I look like a lunatic, a drunk idiot playing with dirt in the middle of the night, all to avoid her newly discovered alpha mate. A sour girl who is judgmental and cold, jealous by those who have what she could never grasp. This will only make me worse, being mated to an alpha. It is as if I've been given the most expensive gift, only to be unable to open it. It just sits there, staring at me, never able to be used by me. It's a cool gift, and I want to give it back. By the time the sun begins to rise, I find myself dragging my bag along as I walk back to the house. A failure, making her walk of shame. I can't reject an alpha. The moon goddess would never let that happen to her favorite children, but I'm sure I wouldn't be able to anyways. When I sneak back into the house, back upstairs into my bedroom, I discover it to be 6 o'clock. My mother should be up any second now. She will be coming into my room, getting me up as well. She'll probably be excited, helping me get ready for the dreaded 8 o'clock. And she does. I sit on my bed as she packs up things, essentials. I toss in a few books here and there, my iPod, headphones, my favorite socks, lonely girls' things. I don't care what she puts in. I lay back and take deep breaths, calming my raging nerves, my racing heart, and warming my frozen fingertips. Slowly, my body grows cold. The infection of the mate bond is eating me alive from the inside out. When the knock comes to the door, my mother gasps, then rushes downstairs, yelling at me to finish everything up as she does so. While I zip up the 2 bags, I dream of the feelings the wine from the gathering gave me, wanting to feel it all again right now. A part of me misses dizzy and reckless Ray. So maybe she doesn't have to go. Maybe she can stay. If I'm going to be Alpha Grant's embarrassment of a mate, something hidden in a box in the attic, I might as well find entertainment in myself. I wonder if I'll see him now, or at all. Maybe we will be in separate houses at all times. Maybe he just needs to know that I am there. I am going with him for power, right? While sitting in the forest, picking at the dirt, I thought hard about this. If mates keep each other strong because of the bond, then he needs me around to make sure he doesn't grow weak. My mother calls for me, so I pick up the bags and shuffle down the hall to the top of the stairs. I can see the guard down below, the guy from the night before, so I lazily shove the bags down the steps, watching as they slide and fumble down each one before anticlimactically landing on the floor. My mother glares at me, embarrassed by such childish actions. Why did I do it? Because I don't want to go, and I might as well let this guard know as well. Following the bags, I reach the bottom and pick them up. Are we leaving? He must think I'm a psychopath, but he doesn't know what I'm walking into. He doesn't know how sad my life is about to become, more so than it already is. The guard nods. Yes, the car is just outside. He takes the bags from me, and I don't stalk him. Might as well take advantage of this pampering before being shoved into the attic. You can sit in the back. I hug my mother and promise to call her as soon as I get there. She holds on to me for a minute or two before releasing me from the nest. A baby bird falling, about to be touched by humans and rejected. I smile though, something too happy to be real, and she knows this. I want to tell her that I'll be back soon once this alpha realizes that he doesn't really need me. But I stay quiet and get into the large car. I don't expect the alpha to be in here, and he's not. The guard then gets into the driver's seat and does whatever he has to do. I don't bother watching my house shrink or watching the trees swim by. I just close my eyes and lay back, hoping to sleep through the drive since I spent all of last night in the woods. I get as comfortable as I can and drift off. It was sudden. One day he was alive, then the next he was dead. He told me good morning, told me to have a good day, then he was off to the borders. My mother stayed home while he was a guard for our alpha, and as I was a child learning about the creature I am supposed to be. They said it was an accident. A few rogues appeared, seemed to be friendly, then suddenly weren't. They accidentally trusted these strangers, I suppose. I don't think my father did, though. He would be the one to doubt them, to believe that until proven innocent, every man is guilty. Our alpha came to our door to tell us that our mate and father was dead. He seemed to feel guilty. Maybe that's why he would remember my face. Not my face now, but that child's face, the big eyes flooded with tears. Hands grasping for her father, who would never come home. Whenever I see him, I think of that day. I thought he would come and congratulate me on finding my mate, as he does for every other man or woman who discovers theirs. My mother expected this too, hoping to replace our old, sad memory of him at our doorstep with a new one. But he never came. Alpha Grant must not have told him, and I know that I repeatedly tell myself that I don't care, that I expect this from him. But there will always be that part of me that aches no matter how many times I try. There is that part in everyone, the last piece that nothing or no one can convert. The door beside me is yanked open, and the abrupt sound shocks me awake. Having to remember where I am, I peer around the car and sigh. The car is no longer in motion, which tells me one thing: you're free to get out, the guard tells me as he appears with my bags in hand. I'm supposed to bring these up to your room, so just follow me. Still foggy-headed from sleep, I nod and slide out of the car, slipping off the seat and landing unsteadily on the ground. I shut the car door behind me and walk near the guard as he heads towards the doors of a large house. I clench my jaw and power on. Is the alpha? No, he's not here yet. The guard interrupts as if I am his annoying younger sister. We arrived before him. He'll be here soon. Somewhat insulted, I cross my arms and follow him into the house. My thoughts abbling on and on about how I am leaving here anyways, and how he can leave because I don't need his help. Not wanting to grow attached to the place, I ignore my surroundings and focus on the guard's back. Up a staircase and down a hall is the door he stops in front of, and I know this is supposedly my room. He waits for me to open it, so I reach forward and swing the door open, pretending not to care when I'm actually quite curious. Before stepping inside, I peer down the hall. 2 large doors stand at the end, tormenting me, haunting me, acting like the gates of hell. His scent seeps from there. A guard leaves, and I stay in my room, dreading the moment when Alpha Grant comes home. He said that he'll be here soon, which makes me restless, speaking that I'm in his pack house with my own room. So much for a separate building. I can't lie to myself. The house is beautiful. My bedroom is a dream. And all of these feelings are making my head explode. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I was supposed to hate it here. I was supposed to want to leave. The bedding smells like roses. My nose stuffed into the pillows as I lay here trying to collect myself. The soothing scent helps keep my mind off of his, at the end of the hall, trickling through my door. It's going to wrap around my ankles and drag me down the hall, locking me in his bedroom for him to find me as a wild animal. His scent is not my friend, but an enemy. My bags are set off to the side, and I refuse to unpack them, convinced that I won't be here for long. I push the promise to my mother to the back of my head, in no mood to search this place for a phone. Some girls at the pack have one, but I personally had no need for one. Everyone I know is in a 3-mile radius of me, and yet that number is even lower than expected. I could call my mother. Maybe the dark-haired girl from the gathering, she seems to know me. Rolling onto my back, I stare up at the ceiling, just as I hear sounds coming from downstairs. My heart hurtles forward, pulling me up, causing my throat to swell closed. In a sudden panic, I look for a place to hide before I realize how stupid that is. I'm sure sooner or later he would find me under the bed. Instead, I switch between sitting and standing before deciding to act as if I am unpacking my things. I snatch up a bag and drop it onto the bed, zipping it open and digging for my books first, moving past clothing. Casually, I place them on the partially filled bookshelf beside the door, across from the bed, sliding them into their own little spot. I do this very slowly, waiting for someone to come in, checking if I am here. Dot. When the door opens, I shoot into position and slide the second book into place, holding my breath. His scent floods the room, a tsunami washing through, drenching everything. I look to my side to find him entering, and his eyes connect with mine. I swallow and grip the books in my hand tightly. "You're unpacking?" He questions and I nod. "All right. I assume Theodore showed you around, where everything is?" I nod again, lying. "You're comfortable in this room?" I nod. "Goddess Ray, say something." There is a few seconds of silence between us, and my chest feels as if it is going to cave in. He speaks so smoothly, acts collected but reckless at the same time, seems to have everything under control in his life, as he is the one in control. This man makes me look like a fool, pretending to put books on a shelf. For what? I can't remember the reason anymore. "I'll leave you to it," he says. I manage a weak, "Okay," and then he leaves, closing the door behind him. With nothing else to do and being too scant to leave my room, I unpack the rest of my things and find myself listening to music afterwards. I was reading for a good hour or two, and then my stomach started grumbling, like a distant earthquake. Trying to ignore my hunger, I blast alternative songs and lay back on the bed as if this will feed me. After another hour goes by, I find myself pacing back and forth, trying to make a decision. Is eating really worth the possibility of running into my mate? The majority of my head says no, the majority of my body says yes, and a few minutes later, I am creeping down the hall, heading for the stairs. It is almost dinner time, the drive taking up most of the day, and I realize I haven't eaten at all. He must know that I require food, right? Even a pet fish has to eat, though I am sure my inevitable hunger is the last thing on his mind. Holding my breath, I carefully make my way down the stairs, listening for any voices. When I hear two people talking off to the side, I freeze. Once I realize that the voices aren't growing any louder or softer, I predict them to be still, and I carry on. Thanks to Theodore's non-existent tour skills, I have no idea where the kitchen is. In result, I wander around like a mouse, watching for traps or luring pieces of cheese. Not wanting to go near the voices, I pray that the kitchen is on the other side of the house, and I search there. Suddenly, I hear different voices, feminine ones. Not knowing what to do, I swiftly slip past the open archway of the room they're in. As I hurry past, hoping they don't see me, I notice the room they're in to be the kitchen. From the quick flash of their features, they look to be a bit older, but not elderly. Not thinking that they are some sort of mistresses, I peek for a second glance. Unfortunately, when I do, they catch me red-handed. "Can we help you, dear?" Red in the face and embarrassed, I shyly wander in with an apologetic smile. "I was just, looking for the kitchen." The more plump woman stands up from her seat at the small table set off to the side, where they were both sitting. "Can I get you anything?" I act surprised or confused. It's a mix of both. I'm sure I can get my own food, if that's all right. I know that in the pack house, there are people that help run everything. There are ones who clean, ones who cook, and that's all I can think of. I don't know much about a pack house, but at least I know this. You don't have to do. I smile again, and it's a weird feeling. No, it's all right. I really don't mind. It's what I'm used to, anyways. I seem to have caught their attention. "Sorry, but are you not— I don't mean to sound rude, but didn't you live in the pack house at your old pack?" They think I am alpha blood. It's not their fault. Anyone would. I am surprised they know I am Alpha Grant's mate, though. Maybe Theodore did do something useful, and he warned them of my presence. I'm not from an alpha bloodline. I say casually, as if it's no big deal, so they don't feel guilty for asking. I'm just a regular. I smile again for effect. Will I ever become good at simple conversation? "Oh, I'm sorry for assuming." The woman apologizes and looks to the other, and the other nods in agreement. "Here, let me fetch you something." I step back and watch her whip up something, letting her really apologize. It is weird to watch someone else make you food. especially when you don't feel deserving of it. All I did was somehow be mated to an alpha, and suddenly people are cooking for me. I sit down with the other woman at the table. Did you meet at the gathering? I heard we were going over to the waters pack for it. Yes, we did, I fib, not wanting to explain the entire embarrassing and anticlimactic exchange. I'm sure your family must be very proud that you're mated to an alpha and all. I only dreamed of such things when I was your age, the woman says. And I have the urge to tell her that it's not what it seems, that I won't be here for long, and that Alpha Grant doesn't actually want me here. Yes, my mother was very happy with it. I lie again, not knowing if I should completely remake myself or not. I was actually supposed to call her later. Do you know where a phone is? Yes, there's one in the living room. We continue to talk about the discovery of my mate and how excited I am, and it tears me apart. I want to run up to my room and wish to teleport back home, back to where I know who I am and what is supposed to happen. Once eating, the other woman joins in the conversation, and I feel as if I am drowning. How's your bedroom? Do you like it? Are you excited to sleep in the same bed soon? I remember when I started sharing a room with my mate. How many children are you hoping for? Have you met Alpha Grant's beta, Will? Is there anything specific you would like for dinner tomorrow? Anything special from home? I can fetch you toiletries and towels and such if you'd like a shower. When do you expect to move into his bedroom? Will your family be visiting? Do you plan on visiting them? Do you have any siblings? Are you feeling well? You look ill. I'm fine, I mumble. Just a little tired, that's all. Long drive. The plump woman swipes up my empty plate. You'd better get some rest then. I'm sure you'll be busy these next few days getting settled in and learning your way around the pack. You're right, I should get. Just before I can finish my sentence, I smell him. It's strong. It's close. I turn to the archway, and not even a second later, he appears with another man. I freeze again. Good evening, Alpha Grant, the plump woman says while the other one acknowledges his presence with a charming smile. Good evening, Will. Looking to the other man, I recall his name from the plethora of questions. Will is his beta. How has your day been? Will starts a conversation with the woman, and I feel as if he hasn't quite noticed me yet. Needing to get out now, I stand up, catching everyone's attention. Thanks again for dinner. I should, be getting to bed? The plump woman finishes for me, and I nod. Yes, that. As I turn to leave, my eyes meet his betas, and the man seems quite surprised by me. From the hall, I can hear him ask, "Now who was that?" But I continue on my mission to the stairs and to the bedroom. Inside, I am able to relax. Going to the kitchen was a bad idea, and I'll have to remember that for next time. A little later into the night, having to entertain myself through all of it, I think about the plump woman's offer of a shower. Well, her offer to fetch me things needed for one. Earlier, I familiarized myself with the room and discovered that the extra door off to the side leads to a bathroom. It looks to be another closet from the outside, but on the in, it is quite cozy. It is not unbelievably spacious, which I like, and I feel good in there. The small window above the toilet has a ledge to place plants and such, and I think I might do just that. The shower glass is a lovely texture that makes me feel as if I am peering through a window while it's raining, blurring everything. The bathroom is my own little nook, and it makes me feel better about showering here. Before I was quite nervous. Now, in a somewhat okay mood, I prepare to leave the safety of the bedroom to find the plump woman. Part of me wonders if she's still here, it being late and all, but I decide to check anyways. It doesn't take much space between the door and the frame to notice a presence in the hall. Pulling the door back, leaving only a sliver to watch through, I notice the presence to be a girl. My lugs squeeze, deprived of air, and I stalk her as she softly walks towards those large doors that intimidate me to no end. My free hand balls up as the other holds the door in place. The stranger slips inside the room, and I immediately shut the door, not wanting to look any longer. That woman just went into his bedroom.